Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and this is the start of my vlog for the Bookbuddyathon. I'm really excited. I'm actually recording this first part on the Sunday, the day before the Bookbuddyathon starts, because I wanted to give you a quick wrap up of the books that I've read this week, because otherwise I'm not going to wrap them up and I like to talk about them. And so I'm going to quickly wrap up the books that I've read in this past week, and then I'm going to start vlogging tomorrow my week with the Bookbuddyathon. So let's talk about the books I've read this week. It's quite hard to talk about these in too much detail because they are books 2, 3 and 4 in the Parasol Protectorate series. I've been buddy reading this with Nicole from Dorker Brain, and we've been having a brilliant time talking about this via Voxer. It's just such a fun series. I love Alexia, her quips and her sense of humour and the banter, and it's just great. I really enjoy this series. As I say, I can't talk too much about these ones, but book 1 in the series, Soulless, explains to you about Alexia. She is a soulless, which means that she doesn't have any soul, which means that any paranormal being that touches her just reverts back to human. So a werewolf, she touches it, it turns back to a human. If a vampire comes at her with his fangs out, she touches them, they turn human again. And so she's quite a unique being in this world, and it's just about her adventures. It's a steampunky, Victorian-esque type book with balloons floating in the sky and various different gadgetry, and it's just a really fun story, and I just really have been enjoying marathoning reading these, and it's great to talk to Nicole as always. She's brilliant at picking up at stuff and chatting with me about what's going on, and I've really been enjoying it. So I've read these 3 this week. And then I've also read one other book, and that is Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. This was a pick-up from the library for me, and I'd seen it on a few people's channels. I quite like Abby Glines, so I wanted to give it a go. And oh my goodness, I stayed up last night until about 2 in the morning finishing this. I read it in one sitting. It was such a really just addictive, good book. Now listen. It's predictable. These books are predictable and you know what's going to happen, but it doesn't seem to matter. They're just really good reads. They're full of romance and interesting situations. This particular story is told in dual point of view. We follow Maggie, and she's selectively mute from a trauma that's happened in her past. She's just moved in with her aunt and uncle and her cousin Brady to live, and we learn a bit more about her. And then the second point of view is West. He's suffering from something that is currently going on in his family home, and it's about how the two meet and a relationship that forms between them, and it's just a really lovely story. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed the different aspects. There was tears at times, and there was sweet moments, and yeah, I just really love these types of stories. I wouldn't want to read this type of book every day, all day. I just really love having a story like this every now and again to read, and I whizzed through it, as you can see, in one sitting, and I really enjoyed it. So now it's going to be moving on to the vlogs for the Bookbuddyathon. I'm just so excited about this. I'm so pleased that so many people have wanted to get involved, and I'm going to try and vlog this week and let you know how I'm getting on. The first book on my TBR for the week is going to be the buddy read book, which is Stormfront by Jim Butcher, which is the first in the Dresden Files, and me and my buddy Sam from Cold Tea and Crumbs are going to be starting this first thing on Monday, so I can't wait to chat to her about this. And also, as you may have seen in the thumbnail, I'm very excited because I picked up a Read or Die t-shirt from Book Riot, and I couldn't wait to try it on, and I love it. It's brilliant, and I just love having something bookish. I've never owned a bookish piece of clothing before, so I'm really excited about this, and the fact that it fits nicely, and yeah, I really like it. So thank you very much, Book Riot. I paid for it all with my own money, and heard about it on their channel, and I absolutely love it. So yay. And yeah, let's move on to my vlog of the week. Hi everyone, so I've just dropped Matilda off for her first day at preschool. It's so sweet. She's got her little yellow t-shirt on, she's very excited. And so I've come home and I've now got about an hour before I've got to prepare some stuff and do a bit of shopping before picking her up. So I'm starting my buddy read book, which is Jim Butcher's Stormfront. This is what I'm reading with Sam from Cold Tea and Crumbs, my buddy for the week. And so I'll be updating her on Voxer as I go along. She's already done an update. I think she read some before work this morning. So I'm looking forward to listening to that when I get to where she's got to. So I'll update you a little bit later in an hour or so and let you know how I'm getting on. Hope everyone else is doing really well. When you see this, it will be after the Bookbuddyathon's finished. But yeah, I'm loving seeing everyone's tweets and messages this morning, and I'm really excited that everyone's having a good time. So let's get reading. Hi guys, so a little video update. I am lying on my sofa in my book room and I've been reading Stormfront by Jim Butcher. I'm now just over or just at halfway point and I'm about to go and wake Matilda up from her nap, so I won't be reading any more until this evening, but I'm hoping that I can get my first book of the Bookbuddyathon finished this evening. I've been chatting to Sam via Voxer as and when, because she's at work, so she read some this morning and left me some messages and I've been leaving her some messages, so hopefully we can talk a bit more this evening. But so far this is a really good read. It's really fun, sort of paranormal, urban fantasy type read, I suppose, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just an easy read, nothing spectacular, but just a good read and a good sort of private eye investigator wizardy type book. So I'm looking forward to carrying this on this evening, and yeah, I'll catch up with you a bit then. Hi everyone, so I'm sitting here with all my makeup off under my blankie and I've just finished Jim Butcher Stormfront, the first in the Harry Dresden files, and I've been buddy reading this with Sam from Cold Tea and Crumbs. She is my buddy for the Bookbuddyathon, and I've read this and it's the first day. I'm going to give it 3 stars. I was really enjoying it. It's fast paced, it's fun and action packed, but in the end I just felt a little bit let down by some of the plot points and the character developments, so I might potentially carry on with this, but I'm not going to be in a rush to carry on with this series. You know, I'll pick it up as and when I think from the library. It was good. It's basically about Harry Dresden. He's a wizard and he takes on sort of cases and he works with the police. It's sort of a crime type urban fantasy with sort of vampires and wizards sort of living among normal people and are sort of known by the humans but not sort of by all humans. You know, it's still sort of a jokey matter that Murphy, who is the police woman in this, uses Harry on cases, and we sort of follow one case, 2 cases, and they sort of intertwine, and it was good, but as I say, there was just certain elements of it that I wasn't keen on. So 3 stars, and now I'm going to pick my next book, so watch this space to find out which one it is. Hi everyone, so I'm having to be quiet because my daughter's asleep and it's late at night here. I've just finished my 3rd book of the readathon, which is The Testing by Joe Charbonneau, and this fulfilled the challenge of a book that your buddy gave 5 stars. I enjoyed this and it was a very fast, action-packed, fun read. It just reminded me a little bit of the Hunger Games and sort of Divergent too much, and I think that let it down a little bit, and I quite liked the ending and I toyed with giving it 4 stars, but I just think I can't, so I'm going to give it 3 stars. I'm really pleased I got to it, and I don't think I'm going to continue with the series, but let me know if you've read the rest of the series and you think it's worth carrying on, because I had a little sneaky peek on Goodreads and it seems that books 2 and 3 sort of go downhill for people, so I'd be interested to see whether it's something I should continue with. I'm now debating what book to read next. The 2 challenges I've got left are a book with my buddy's favourite colour on, which is purple, and a book that I just want to read. I have the 2 books picked out that were on my TBR, but I'm umming and ahhing between following that and not, so
watch out for my next update on day 3 to let you know what I've decided to do. Okay, bye.
Hi guys, so I'm sitting in the car. I'm just about to pick Matilda up from preschool. It is day 3 of the Bookbuddyathon. I have read 3 books already and now I am moving on to my 4th. I'm probably not going to get the chance to do this until her lunch in about an hour or so, but during her lunch, after her lunch she sleeps for an hour, and I'm going to try and read In the Miso Soup by Ryu Murakami. I've got 2 books left and I couldn't decide which one to start with, so I took to Twitter and Instagram last night and asked people to vote for which one I should read next, and the majority of people said In the Miso Soup, and I'm pleased that I'm starting this at lunchtime because I think it's going to be a bit of a dark, scary book, and so I'm going to need all the lights on. It's only 180 pages long, so I should be able to get through this today, leaving me tomorrow. I've got to do a bit of filming during the day, but then I'm also got my last book to read, and if I get through that, I'm just going to keep reading for the rest of the week. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited seeing everyone's TBRs and updates on Twitter and people really getting excited about it, and it's been such a fun planning, and I'm really looking forward to seeing anybody's wrap-ups if people do wrap-ups, so I just can't wait. Anyway, I shall speak to you all soon. Bye.
Hi guys, so I've just finished my 4th book of the readathon, and that is In the Miso Soup by Ryu Murakami. It was an interesting read. It's not one that I wish to partake in again. It's made me feel a bit creeped out and a bit queasy. It's only about 180 pages. It's set in the red light district in Tokyo, and it's about a man whose job is he takes people around the sex district and helps them to sort of get sex or whatever it is they're looking for. And one day he's hired by an American man called Frank, and he spends a couple of days with him, and it's just a very weird, creepy, scary, I just feel dirty. I feel dirty after reading this, and I need to read something nice. I'm giving it 3 stars because I've really enjoyed the writing and it was interesting, but just a bit too weird for me, I think. So yeah, 3 stars on this one, but I'm really pleased. It's the end of day 3 and I finished my 4th book. I've only got 1 left. It's quite a short one. I think I'm going to beat this Bookbuddyathon, and so I'm going to be moving on to some others after that, so I'm excited. So yeah, I'll catch up with you again tomorrow when I have read my final book, hopefully.
Hi everyone, so it's day 4 of the Bookbuddyathon, and I have about 2 hours while Matilda was at preschool this morning to just read. I've got all my chores done, and I'm reading The Brighter Fear by Kerry Drury. This is a book by an author that I saw at a UK YA event, and her book sounded really interesting. I just had a little bit of tearing up. It's quite a moving book so far. We're following a young girl called Lena in Iraq during the war, and it's just about what life is like living there as a teenager and losing parents and resistance to things, and how civilians can't win. They don't want to be part of certain things, and if they're not, then they're persecuted by other sides, they're persecuted by their own people. It's really quite a powerful book so far, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm hoping to get this finished. I'm halfway through now, and I have about an hour until I need to pick Matilda up, so I'm hoping to get a good chunk of this done and then read a bit more when she has a nap this afternoon. And then when I've done that, I will have read my 5 books for the week by day 4, so I'm so excited. And if I do that, I'm probably going to move on to my Man Booker books that I need to get read. Hi everyone, so I've just finished my 5th and final book for the Bookbuddyathon. I've completed all the challenges. I am so excited, and it's only day 4. This was a good book. I really enjoyed the story. It was quite moving and quite harrowing. and a really good sort of insight into what it must be like for young people or anybody Iraqis living in the country. I enjoyed certain aspects of it. I feel like I just wanted more of certain things, and there was parts where we learned what happened to the main character Lena's mother, Sasha, and sometimes I felt those flashbacks sort of jumped us around a little bit and took us out of the story, but I can understand why they were in there. But yeah, I did enjoy it, and I've given it 3 stars. Hi everyone, so it's Sunday, it's the final day of Bookbuddyathon, and I haven't vlogged for the last couple of days because things have been a bit busy and manic here. Preschool happened and the first few days were okay, and then the last day was lots of tears, and there have been quite a lot of tantrums and a lot of various other things going on. A little bit of illness in my house with my husband not being well, and yeah, so it's just all been a bit manic. I have been reading though, I just haven't had the chance to vlog, so I wanted to do a roundup of the week now to let you know sort of my final thoughts and how I got on. So let me first take you through, I did record this before and I deleted it by accident. So before the Bookbuddyathon started, I read 2 graphic novels, so I just want to very briefly talk about them now because otherwise they won't get wrapped up, and I do like to talk about them. The first one was Nailbiter, Volume 1, and this was by Williamson, Henderson, Gazowski, Hill and Levin. This was a big surprise for me. I wasn't expecting to like it. Well, I was expecting to like it, but maybe give it 3 stars, but I really enjoyed this. It's the story of a town which seems to be producing quite a lot of serial killers, and it's about a police officer who's been investigating it. He goes missing, and so one of his friends comes to investigate his disappearance. I really like the artwork in this. It's, you know, it's just fun artwork. I really like the story, and I gave this one 4 stars, and I have now ordered volumes 2 and 3 to be reading as soon as possible. Next, before the Bookbuddyathon started, I read Batgirl, Volume 1, Batgirl of Burnside, and this was okay. I gave this one 3 stars. It was a little bit... It just felt like it was trying too hard to be modern. There's a lot of text and technology and social media things being used in here, and I suppose that's to try and sort of appeal to a current audience. But I just felt like it was perhaps a bit overdone, like it was trying too hard, and it sort of took me out of the story a bit. And the story itself was quite interesting. I just felt that sometimes those sort of text and things like that were a little bit jarring. You know, the tweets, and I just felt it brought you out of the story a bit, and so I couldn't give it more than 3 stars, and I'm not sure if I'm going to carry on with this one. So I completed all 5 of my books for the Bookbuddyathon, which I was really pleased with. I picked books that were all under 300 pages, so I gave myself a fighting chance, and I read quite fast anyway, so I knew I would probably be able to do it. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get a book that was over 3 stars, and that's quite unusual for me. I normally really enjoy all the books I read, so that was a little bit disappointing. I ended up with 4 3-star books and a 2-star book, which is quite low in terms of rating for me. I'm quite generous with my ratings. So I read my 5 books, but I didn't feel like I enjoyed them as much, and so I had about 4 days. I think I finished my 5th book on day 4, so I had 3 days really left, and I was determined I was going to find a good book that was 4 stars or above by the end of the week. So I really wanted to try and get reading my Man Booker books, because I picked 5 Man Booker books off the Man Booker long list that interested me, that I wanted to read before the winner was announced, and I was going to rank them in order of 5th to 1st of those 5 books that I've read. I've now read 2. I've read Satin Island. Well, I say I read Satin Island, I had to DNF it, it just wasn't for me. And then I just finished Sleeping on Jupiter by Anuradha Roy, and this was one of my other picks, and it was just calling to me, so I picked it up. It's a really interesting story, it's really well written, it's basically we flash back and forward. It's about a girl called Nomi. She's kidnapped as a child, and we find out what happens to her then. But the present day of the story, Nomi is a lot older, in her sort of late 20s, I think, or early 20s, and she is going back to where she was from. She is now working as sort of a television producer of sorts, and she's going back to look for something. She meets 3 old ladies on a train, and we sort of follow their stories, all 4 of these people's stories, and peripheral characters that come into play as well. I really enjoyed this. There just wasn't that something that I wanted. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, it was okay, but I just didn't feel like it was great. So I ended up giving this one 3 stars, and I will hopefully be talking about that a bit more in my Man Booker Reads roundup, which I'll be doing hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, but it's depending on how quickly I get to the last 3 books that are on my list for that. And then once I'd finished that, I just had the yesterday evening left to read some books, and so I picked up 2 graphic novels. This is a little bit of a spoiler for a future graphic novel haul, but I picked up Wayward by Zub, Cummings, Rauch, Bonvillian and Dillon. This is volume 1, String Theory. I'd heard about this from my Bookbuddyathon buddy, Sam at Colty and Crumbs. She'd hauled and read this recently and really enjoyed it. I really liked the artwork. I liked the idea of it being set in Tokyo, and I just liked the sort of paranormal idea behind it. And I did enjoy this. It was a good read. I think I only gave it 3 stars. It was just a bit confused for me, and yeah, it wasn't 100% there, but I did enjoy the concept and the idea. So I may pick up the other one, but probably not buy, and maybe I'll pick it up from the library at a later stage. And then the final one that I read was Porcelain, a Gothic fairy tale by Benjamin Reed and Chris Wildgoose. And I'd seen this on Kitty G, Caitlin from Kitty G's channel, and she talked about how good it was, and I loved the artwork when she showed it, so I had to get it for myself. And she was right, this is a really great story. I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's about a young homeless girl who finds her way into this sort of mansion house, which is said to be of a magician's. She's been sent there by all the other waifs and strays to steal from him, and it's just about them meeting, what happens then, their relationship, what's happening in this house, what this sort of guy is doing, and it's just full of humour and interesting things and a great sort of magic idea. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It was a really good story, a really good read, and I definitely recommend it. So this was 4 stars. So I ended up with a 4-star read by the end of the week, which I'm so pleased that I found one, because I was thinking I was never going to find one again. So I was really pleased with that. And then it's the last day today, and I'm going to be starting a buddy read book that I'm planning on reading next week with my friend Michelle, who I buddy read with pretty much every month now. We pick a book to read together. We met via BookTube. She emailed me once and said, let's do a buddy read, and I said yeah, and we've been doing it ever since. And we're reading Splintered by A.G. Howard together, so I'm going to get this started at some point today. So I've just really loved the Bookbuddyathon. I've loved how people on BookTube have embraced the idea and just met new people and chatted and really got stuck in. I've loved finding out what people are reading, how people are doing, and just generally that feeling of community, which is really what I wanted to achieve from this. And I'm just so pleased. Thank you so much for taking part. You've really made it such a wonderful experience, and I hope people have enjoyed it. And on that note, me and Sam have enjoyed it so much that we decided we wanted to do it again. And so we have decided that we will be doing the Bookbuddyathon again in May of 2016. The reason we've decided May is it's quite a nice gap between May and September, and also May will be Sam's BookTube anniversary. So we thought, why not do it twice a year on mine and Sam's booktube anniversaries? So we're going to go for May for hers, and we will be letting you know the dates obviously nearer the time on that, but we're really excited to do it again. There may be some changes next time, who knows, we may change up the questions a little bit, but there will still be that buddy read in there. So you've got a good 6 months or so to decide who your buddy's going to be for the next time if you want to take part. And thank you again so much to everyone who took part. If you haven't seen, I've emailed this person. I've also put it up on the video. The giveaway is now closed, and the winner of my giveaway was Anne. So congratulations to her, and she is picking her book from that video, and I will be getting that out to her as soon as possible if I haven't done already. And yeah, thank you, just thank you. Booktube makes me so happy, and this made me really happy, and I'm gonna really miss it now. I'm gonna have to find loads of other things to take part in, lots of other readathons, because I've really enjoyed this week, and you've all made it so very special, so thank you very much. Okay, well that's my wrap up. So I read 8 things for the Bookbuddyathon. I managed to find myself one 4-star book. I got through books that I'd wanted to read for ages, and I managed to read a book with my booktube bestie, so I'm just really, really happy. Okay, bye for now, booktube.